Today on Variant, I run through the alternate versions of Iron Man. Welcome to Variant, where we love comics more than I love Iron Man's new armor for the Spider-Man Homecoming movie. I'm your host, Aris Quinones. It's been a minute since we've done an alternate versions episode here on the channel, but it's Marvel month here on Variant, and Iron Man is going to play a huge role in Spider-Man Homecoming, so why not take a look at the alternate versions of Iron Man? As always, there are many different versions of a character as old as Iron Man. I mean, he's been around since the early 60s, so I'm not going to be able to mention every single last alternate version of the character, but I will do my best to mention the most prominent ones and or my favorites. With that said, let's talk some Iron Man. With these alternate versions episodes, we always try to start with the OG version, and in Iron Man's case, the original version of the character is the one that every other version of him is based off of. I'm of course talking about the main Marvel 616 universe Iron Man that first appeared in Tales of Suspense issue 39 in 1963. His origin and overall appearance has been updated over the years to fit the times, but nonetheless, this version is the original and the first Iron Man. Now for our first alternate version of Iron Man, I'm going to start with the Ultimate Iron Man from Earth 1610. As the name suggests, this is the Iron Man from the Ultimate Marvel Universe. However, instead of being a member of the Avengers, he's a member of the Ultimates, which is this universe's version of the Avengers. This version of Tony Stark is also a wealthy industrialist and inventor. He even has an alcohol problem like the main 616 Iron Man. One huge difference though is that this version of Stark has an incurable brain tumor that could kill him at any moment. This is actually the catalyst which makes him use his abilities to create an Iron Man suit to save people and do good with the remaining time he has left. I'll also add that the armor Iron Man will be using in Spider-Man Homecoming is heavily based off of the Ultimate armor. As you can see, the color scheme and pattern are almost identical. But moving on, we have Earth 42777, or Exiles Iron Man. This Iron Man is a villainous version who has become the ruler of Earth and has killed many of Earth's heroes and mutants. He even killed Magneto and Dr. Doom, then started wearing Doom's cape like a boss. Next up, we have Earth 2149 Iron Man. This is the Iron Man from the ever so popular Marvel Zombie storyline. In this version, Tony is of course a zombie along with most of Earth's heroes in this reality. This zombie Iron Man even leads the charge to attack and eat Silver Surfer, because they're zombies and that's what they do. Once he and the other infected heroes do so, they gain a portion of Silver Surfer's power, allowing them to take down Galactus. Moving along, we have Iron Maniac, which I have to say is an awesome name. This is the Iron Man from Earth 5012. An Earth completely ravaged in a war with Titanus that also killed a crap ton of heroes, and these losses caused Stark to become violent. Somewhere along the line, Stark and Reed Richards become enemies, and Tony thinks Richards did something that resulted in several deaths. Because of all this, Stark dons an armor that resembles that of Dr. Doom. He even killed the Human Torch after he damaged his face. Long story short, Reed was able to send him to the main 616 universe, where he was eventually defeated by Captain America and Freedom Ring, although Freedom Ring was killed in the process. Simply put, this is a really cool and interesting version of Iron Man. Now the next Iron Man I'm going to talk about is from Earth 982 and called Mainframe. In this reality, Tony Stark has retired and created Mainframe to take his place as Iron Man. Mainframe is a sentient intelligence based off Stark's brainwaves. He's also a founding member of A-Next, which is this world's version of the Avengers, made up of the proteges, sons, and daughters of the previous heroes. Now we have who I think is a really cool looking Iron Man, and that is Iron Man Noir. This version of Iron Man takes place in the 1930s and is an industrialist and an adventurer. One day while investigating a power source in the ruins of Atlantis, Pepper Potts is kidnapped by Nazis. Those freaking bastards. In order to save her, Tony and Rhodes put on huge powered suits of armor made by good old Jarvis. In the midst of all this though, Tony finds out that his missing dad, Howard Stark, has been brainwashed and is actually Baron Zemo. Ultimately, he defeats Baron Zemo and returns back to the US. Then we also have Nathaniel Richards, aka Iron Lad. In summary, Iron Lad is a young version of Kang the Conqueror who rejects his future self and travels to modern-day Earth in the 616 reality to change his destiny. He would later find the remains of Vision at the Avengers Mansion, which had been attacked by Scarlet Witch, and downloaded all of his programs, including a failsafe to create a new Avengers team if anything ever happened to the original. So Nathaniel assembled the Young Avengers and designed his costume after that of Iron Man. Thus Iron Lad was born. I know a lot of you may be interested in the Young Avengers, but I'm going to save talking about them for a future episode. Next up though, we have Iron Ghost from Earth 295. Not very much is known about this version of Iron Man, as he's only made a handful of appearances, but he is a member of Blob's Black Legion. He seems to basically be a combination of Iron Man and Ghost Rider, which is pretty awesome if you ask me, and I know a lot of you probably agree. Speaking of character mashups, I definitely have to mention the Amalgam Universe Iron Man, which is Iron Lantern. This of course is a combination of Iron Man and Green Lantern, Hal Jordan Green Lantern to be exact. His name is Hal Stark, and he's a billionaire and founder of Stark Aircrafts. He became Iron Lantern when one of his flight simulators was drawn to a distant planet. He crash-landed on the planet next to an alien ship wreckage, causing shards of metal to become stuck in his chest. After making his way to the wreckage, Hal found an alien named Raman-Sor dying in the alien ship. Hal realized he was also dying himself and used parts from the alien ship to make himself an armored high-tech suit, and used a mysterious battery which he called a lantern to power the tech suit. But not only does the suit keep Hal alive, it also gives him incredible powers like super strength, speed, energy manipulation, projection, and even time travel. I just love how the Amalgam Universe takes a Marvel character and a DC character and makes them one. It's just super interesting and fun to see what elements they take from each character to make a completely new yet familiar origin and character. Next, we have the newest Iron Man, Riri Williams, aka Ironheart. She's a 15-year-old MIT student who's all like, you know what, I'm gonna build my own Iron Man suit. And that's exactly what she did. She did so by reverse engineering an outdated Iron Man armor. At the end of the Civil War II story, Tony fell into a coma after fighting Captain Marvel, so Riri continued his legacy. With the help of an AI duplicate of Stark, Riri created a much better suit of armor and took the name Ironheart. But keeping this train rolling, we have Earth 2301 Iron Man, aka Mangaverse Iron Man. On this Earth, Tony fought Namor and then vanished, after which he was replaced by former S.H.I.E.L.D. agent and his twin sister, Tony Stark. The Tony is spelled with an I, not a Y. Although she was eventually killed by the Hulk just before her brother Tony, with a Y, re-emerged. We then found out the reason for his disappearance, which was he had spinal cancer and was on life support inside his armor. Crazy, I know. Now, you know I couldn't do this list without talking about the 2099 version of Iron Man, because let's face it, mostly everyone loves them some 2099. The Iron Man from 2099 is Sonny Frisco. He actually suffers from dwarfism, but pilots the normal-sized Iron Man armor. He's on the Ultimax Corporation's team of Avengers. He also in secret gets help from the female version of Vision, who has precognitive abilities. Next in line, we have Bullet Points Iron Man, which is a pretty interesting take on Iron Man, because this Iron Man is Steve Rogers. That's right, Steve Rogers, the guy we normally know as Captain America. In this storyline, Dr. Abraham Erskine was assassinated earlier in the main 616 Marvel Universe, and Rogers was never able to receive the Super Soldier Serum. So Steve instead agrees to be bonded with a prototype Iron Man armor, even though it will cause intense physical pain. Unfortunately, however, Rogers is later killed while fighting an alternate version of the Hulk. Now you may be wondering where's Tony Stark during all of this. Well, in this reality, he's a member of S.H.I.E.L.D. and wants to follow in Steve Rogers' footsteps as Iron Man, but can't because he has a heart condition. In the end, Tony Stark doesn't really care and becomes Iron Man anyway once Galactus arrives. Then finally, the last Iron Man I'm gonna mention is my good friend Bobby's favorite version of Iron Man. You guys didn't need to know that, but there it is. And that Iron Man would be the House of M Iron Man. First off, this Iron Man just looks amazing. He has this huge, almost anime-style mech suit of armor. In the House of M, Tony is still the owner of Stark Industries and became a major supplier for high-tech weaponry used to fight mutants. But when the Mutant-Human War ended, the suits he made were powered down. The suits then became part of a TV game show called Robo Deathmatch, where giant robots fight each other to see who's the best. Not shockingly, Tony and his dad are the two best at the sport. It's a very different spin on the character, but it's fun. Of course, there is several more versions of Iron Man that I haven't mentioned, and again, that's because there are just way too many to get them all in one episode. But these versions are just some of my personal favorites, and I'm the host, so I can do that. But we want to know what your favorite version of Iron Man is, so let us know in the comments section down below. I want to be healthy, but I'm way too busy to get to the store and buy ingredients to make what?
You mean lazy?
I am not lazy. I have a lot of editing going on. I want to get a month. I want to be healthy, but I am way too busy to go to the store to get all the ingredients to make a nutritious and delicious smoothie. Enter Daily Harvest. Oh, magic.
Oh my, that's terrible.
What do you mean? That is not terrible. That is production value. Daily Harvest delivers perfectly portioned smoothies and ready-to-go cups right to your front door or desk. So what do you say we pick one and get to smoothie? Oh, magic. Now let's get those ingredients in there and blend it up. It's so easy. Man, delicious. Almost like it was made from a team of chefs and nutritionists. Daily Harvest has 14 different blends of smoothies, not to mention other products. Go to daily-harvest.com/variant or click the link in the description and use the code VARIANT to get 3 free smoothies. First up for Wednesday, June 28th, we have Star Wars Droids Unplugged Issue 1. This issue collects 3 stories featuring everyone's favorite androids, R2-D2, BB-8, and even Darth Maul's probe droids. And finally, we have The Flash Issue 25. Reverse Flash is back to kill Barry's future. Need I really say more? And that's going to bring another episode of Variant to a close. But remember to like our Variant Facebook page to keep up with the show and all things comic related. You can also follow Variant on Twitter at Variant Comics or me on Twitter at Eris_Quinones. But I'll see you guys next week when I talk about all things comics.